This is your sign to go all in. Now, I just wrapped up my very first workout right after Ramadan, 30 days of not being in the gym, and it was a very good workout. I was very surprised by the amount of strength I had. It was maybe like 20 to 30% reduction in my just intensity and just the amount of weight I was able to lift. But one, I did that purposely, and two, it was just because of the reduced work capacity. So if you're watching this, you're probably like, okay, why should I, like, what's the point of this video? The reason I've titled this is your sign to go all in, is because of that context of me fasting for 30 days for Ramadan, and why I decided to let a lot of things in terms of my physique and just the things I was doing prior to that month, I kind of let them slide. But I did them very purposely because there was a season of intensity that I had to adopt for me to achieve certain goals. The reason why you've been slacking, the reason why every single day feels like it's the same slog of you just going to work and you're going through the motions with your life outside of work, and maybe you're not putting you're not putting the kind of work that you need to do to really move your life to the next stage, is because you are not making the necessary sacrifices to help you achieve that goal. With Ramadan, for anyone who is not aware, we fast for 30 days, and we also pray in the mosque every night for anywhere from from 1 to 2 hours with the congregation. As you can imagine, that's a lot of time that we need to spend and dedicate to this month, on top of not eating food, not drinking water, not doing any, and not being indulged in any of these worldly pleasures, so to speak. And that takes a toll on your physique. That takes a toll in your health, on your health, in the sense that you're not able to push as harder as you would like to be, because if you're caffeinated, if you've had a nice meal, you've gotten your protein in, then obviously you're going to be hitting life harder. But that takes a step back, just because we focus more on worship and making sure that our soul is aligned with God, and we're doing the right things to make sure that we are purifying ourselves. Essentially, that's really what it comes down to. With that backdrop, you have to understand that regardless of whether you're Muslim or not, you have to understand that you are not moving to the next stage of your life because you are not going all in. And what going all in means, a lot of people say this, it brings up images of you just like being monk mode and just like being attached to your desk and everything. That's not what it is. What that means is you need to really look at what you're trying to get to in your life. Say it's getting in shape. That requires certain sacrifices. That means giving up 1 to 2 hours every single day of your personal time and going to the gym. That means giving up certain foods that you enjoy for more nutritious foods. That means going to sleep an hour or two earlier than you would like to, and sacrificing that time that you're just like scrolling on your phone. Sacrifice. That's really what it means to go all in. A lot of people, they have this idea, and I did for a long time too, where I assumed that I could keep up my life as it was, not make any substantial change, and I would somehow get to the next level. But that doesn't make any sense, because you have to carve out time. You have to bring time into your life to be able to get dedicated to whatever you're trying to achieve. It doesn't have to be a lot. Maybe it doesn't have to be a lot for you. Maybe you just really need an extra 2 hours, and you need to figure out what things you need to cut out. But that's really what it comes down to. You need to cut out certain activities, certain habits, certain, even modes of thinking that are preventing you from really achieving what you need to in life. So that's the first thing that I want to bring to your attention, is that sacrifice is the way that you're going to get to where you want to be. The second thing is that I came to the gym and I attacked my workout. I did my workout as I didn't change anything necessarily. I just reduced the weight, but I still had a really good session, and I didn't feel like, oh, this is going to be so hard and all this kind of stuff, because of a very simple thing that I had in the back of my head, and I've had for a very long time because of the workout that I put in. And that's this identity of me being a strong and fit person. That's so crucial, and the only way to really have that under your belt, so there's two ways that people go about it. One is just like, oh, let me fake it till you make it. That's one way to go about it, and that is true. You do need that to a certain extent. If you're if you're a beginner in the early stages of your journey, you do need that. But what's really more important, what really solidifies your identity, is putting in the work. There is no other way to really go about this. You need to attack the work even when you think that you are not the kind of person. And then at a certain point, that shift happens where when you get your first major win, or you've stacked enough wins that if they've compounded into you seeing success in that realm of life, that it's just almost overnight, where you just go from like, oh, like, of course I'm the kind of person who goes to the gym 4 times a week. Of course I'm the kind of person who eats my protein. Of course I'm the kind of person who drinks my water. Of course, like, that's just who I am. And that requires struggle. That requires going against the things you have been doing. And this obviously builds off the first point that I talked about. You need to really make those sacrifices to adopt that identity of whatever you're trying to do. You know, whether you're trying to make money, or you're trying to get married, or you're trying to get in shape, or whatever the case is for you, you need to put in the work. There's just no way around it. So a lot of gurus, a lot of people will tell you that, oh, you know, it's just they make it easier than it needs to be. Or, you know, they frame it in a way where it's just like, oh, just like, you know, you don't change anything about your life, and just do this one thing and everything will change. That's not how it is. If anyone has told you that, you've been lied to. I was lied to about a bunch of different things, but that's a video for a different topic, for a different day. My point with saying all of this is that if you are not where you want to be, first look at what you need to sacrifice, because there will be sacrifice involved with this. It's just part of the game. It's part of what's required. Number two, look at your identity. What are you thinking about on a day-to-day basis? If it's video games, if it's, oh, what do I say to this? What do I respond to this girl on Instagram? What do I say to my parents who are just like, oh, you know, like, you know, what are you doing with your life? Or whatever the case is, look at what's going on in your mind and address that first. That will lead you to taking the action, becoming the kind of person that you want to be, and just taking control of your life. It's a stepwise process. I'm not going to give you the tactics in terms of like, oh, you need to wake up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. or whatever, and, you know, do these X, Y, Z things. Once you know the kind of person that you want to become, those things you'll just discover them on your own, or you know what you need to do. Like, I'm fully convinced everyone, including myself, we know what we need to do to get to the next level. We're afraid of what people will think of us. We're too comfortable with where we want to be, and we understand that if we start putting in the work, I'll have to give up the comforts that I have in my life. I won't be able to watch Netflix for 2 hours every night. I won't be able to hang out with my friends every single weekend. I won't be able to do, you know, eat this junk food, you know, just because that's what I eat every single day. So that's the message for this video. I was feeling really good after the gym, so I was just like, let me whip this out. So excuse the audio, because I usually have my mic, but I felt this was too important to not put out this message for you guys. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to share with you. No, that's pretty much it. So take action. Make sure that you adopt the identity of the person that you want to become. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys with that. As you can see, we are back on YouTube. I made the executive decision to come back after seeing some friends who were really seeing success with this, and it's one of the regrets I have, in terms of like, I could just be making these videos every single day, but I, for some reason, just did not. I gave up on YouTube, and I addressed that in my first video after coming back. So listen to that if you're wondering like, hey, where did this guy go? So like, comment, subscribe, do all that kind of good stuff, and crush it.